Welcome to Rugby AM here on Free Sports. We're back once again and I'm surrounded by good faith today because I've got the two church-going mentors around me, and that is Jamie Jones-Buchanan from Leeds Rhinos, Jesse Senlafaya from Castleford Tigers, and it's all about the love of God today, Jonesy, a fellow Christian brother in the studio.
Yeah, it was a real revelation last year meeting Jesse, because they had what was called an Iron Squad, and we visited, didn't we, with Rugby AM down at Castleford Escape Christchurch in there, and every Tuesday the guys were meeting. There was Benny Roberts, there was Junior Moores, Big T, Arona from Wakefield, and a few boys and a few fans as well, and it was fantastic. And the chaplain at Castleford, Paul Howell, and Ashley Gibson made a real difference, and it's really nice, refreshing, because of a man of faith. It's sometimes rare to find other people, and certainly the South Sea Islanders are very big men of faith, and it was a big encouragement. One
thing I loved during the World Cup is the group prayers that the players did from Fiji, and I spoke quite a lot to James Stoker online about his videos, because I think he's a real inspiration, and I mentioned you to him about your passion for videos, and I sent him as good as it gets in the post, so I'm just waiting for him to get back to us. But one thing I saw last year is when you guys got together with Jonesy after you'd beaten Leeds again down at Castleford one night, and you all got around and you said a prayer together, and I thought that were a real nice touch. Is that something you do at every game, Jesse, and invite other Christians from other teams to pray with you?
Yeah, certainly. You know, when you kind of get to know other players in the Super League, you kind of can pick out the Christians and who believes, and it's just nice to give thanks to, you know, God for such a beautiful job that we have, and we're blessed with the opportunities. And you know, sometimes little prayers like that can catch other people, and it shines the light of Jesus Christ. And you know, someone might ask you one day what we was doing, and then it just starts from there. So it's just a stepping stone to, you know, to follow Jesus, really.
Well, we talk about following quite a lot, because Jones is zero social media. You're hot on social media, and I sent him recently a screenshot of Israel Folau. Yeah, he's a player I follow, and his whole social media is all giving glory to God, all promoting Jesus. And I said to Jones, is this not the right way? If you don't like social media, this wouldn't be good for you, Jonesy, to just have it out there, just supporting Jesus and sharing your faith? Is that not something that you could use it as a positive for social media?
I think we're all different, and we mentioned this off air before. God gives us all different gifts. And I mentioned Jesse's really gifted when it comes to prayer and worship and song. He can play his instruments, and when you're in those environments, he leads that and gets everybody going. And my own mind, semantically, I'm a bit more of a theological guy. I like to read the Bible. I remember stories and narratives, characters. Jesse is artistic, so he uses his social media to get that out there. I do a lot of talks. I visit churches, I visit community clubs, and I speak face to face with groups of people rather than putting it out on social. So we're just all different, and we've got different gifts, talents and abilities, and we use them in a different way, Simo.
Oh, there's one thing you got to know too. Being Christian doesn't mean you're perfect, you know. We still have obstacles, we still sin, we still do bad things. So I don't want you to get the picture that we're perfect people. No. No, we have obstacles in front of us that make us become better people.
That's it, yeah. I like that. Yeah. Well, one man who has definitely become better from his time of healing, who is Danny Sculthorpe, who we were in recently, talking to us about his journey. We caught up with him recently, and he gave us his 5 toughest. This is Danny Sculthorpe, hard as nails.
Danny Sculthorpe, ex-Wigan, Castleford, Wakefield, Huddersfield player. Just like to give you my 5 top hardest players that I've played against. Number 5, Stuart Fielden. You know, Stuart was fit as anything, strong, absolute beast, could hit you in defence, but usually, you know, his game was all about running over people, and he did that a lot of times to me. Number 4, Jamie Peacock. Jamie was raw-boned, a bit like Gazok. You know, you didn't know where to tackle him. If you went low, you'd get a knee. If you went high, you'd get an elbow or something like that, and just again, fit as a fiddle. You know, the Bradford pack back in the early 2000s was just unbelievable, and Jamie was, again, an absolute beast. Number 3, another Bradford player from the early 2000s, Joe Vagana. Used to come back from pre-season 25 stone, probably started the season at 23. But again, when he ran at you, it was just horrible. he used to run at you, take him off, and then they'd bring Paul Anderson on, who was very close to joining this top 5. But I'll just give it to Joe just because he was a little bit heavier than Blue. Number 2, a guy from New Zealand, Stephen Kearney. I played against him when he played for Hull FC. Again, really aggressive Kiwi, good with the ball, absolutely brilliant player, but he was just hard as nails in defence and in attack. He was just tough as anything. My number 1 goes to St Helens hooker Kieran Cunningham. He was just like running into a brick wall. Every time you took a ball in, he'd be in front of you. He wasn't overly aggressive, he wasn't a dirty player, but boy could he hit. He absolutely smashed me every time we played against St Helens. We had a bit of a ding-dong with each other. But again, when he had the ball, I've never played against anyone as strong, an absolute beast. That's my top 5 hardest players I've ever played against. There's one guy who I've left out, our kid, Paul. You know, I've not put him in because he used to look after me on the field. He never tried anything on, unlike me. If I could get the chance to go in third man and give him an elbow or a knee, I definitely would. But he used to look after me, so that's why he's not got in my top 5.
There's some tough, uncompromising characters in the hard as nails, Jonesy, some old school fellas. Jesse, it's great to have you over here. Now, you've just signed a new deal at Cast Tigers, and you've had a bit of a journey, playing Manly, Cronulla, and you ended up here in Castleford. How did the move come about? How did you end up coming to Cast?
Yeah, I had a really good season in NRL 2014, and my manager said there was interest from Cast straight away. But at that time, you know, I felt like I wasn't ready. You know, I still had a bit to give in the NRL, and so it was always like in the back of my mind that I was coming to UK. And then I went from Manly, changed their coach, and then I thought, you know what, I think it's time to go. And I went to Cronulla, and then I was obviously in the team of that year that they won it.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
comp, they winning the comp.
Yeah, they won the comp, and you know, you just miss out by being 18th, 19th man, and you know, it was all good. You know, it was some
Did you get a ring
things.
for that? Did you get a ring?
Nah, you only get a ring if you play. Yeah, so you could play the whole season and not play the grand final.
Even if it really,
yeah,
is that right?
not get a ring, yeah. So
if you're injured, you don't get a ring?
Nah, no one gets a ring unless you play the game.
Wow, 17 rings, yeah.
But yeah, it was just awesome to be a part of it, and I learned a lot from it. And then I still had one more year at Cronulla, but you know, Cass come in again, and my manager hit me up, and I just thought, man, I think I'm ready to go, eh? And I could honestly say me and my partner prayed about it, and we spoke to family members, and it was a big move for both of us.
It is a big move.
Especially leaving all your family and friends. You know, it's always good to have family here. It gives us a bit of a kick. But at that time, I thought, yep, let's do it. So, yeah, we booked our tickets and got our visas and landed in Pony. Yeah.
What's been your favourite thing about England so far?
I think I've come over here with a good attitude. You know, I've come to be the best player I can be. I come to make sure this opportunity is worth it. And I think when you have that mindset and you train hard, and you know, things on the field work for you. But there's a lot of stories where it's not so good as well, you know. But I have the best wife in the world, you know. She supports me everywhere I go. They never miss a game, probably only the Catalan game. But yeah, with that support system behind me and my 4 kids as inspiration, and Jesus on my side, I can't be beaten.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Before you played rugby, I understand you did some work in the mines.
No. I was a cellarman and a security guard.
Cellarman and security guard.
So I've got Tana here in backstage. Me and Tana actually worked together as a security guard, and
like the mall cop.
Yeah, it was just like a little pub at Penrith RSL. But so I actually made the papers for NRL because, you know, I used to have a day job, and then I'd do rugby league in the afternoon, and then go security at night. And I've done that for years. Wow. Then I finally got my first full-time gig when I was 22 for the Panthers. So instead of giving up all my jobs at once, I thought, hey, I can keep my security job at night and I can train in the day as a professional. So I'd train in the day as a full-time athlete and then jet off to security in the night time. And then when it come to weekends, it depended when I was playing. But if we had a Friday night game, I would play Friday night. As soon as the whistle's gone, straight into the car, straight to Penrith RSL, finish at 6 in the morning, and then I'll work Saturday, Sunday. So that was extra money, which was good. But those long hours with Tana, it's been like, you know, that's what's so good to have in me. You know, it's like family over again. But yeah, and then, so like, most times I'm always the first one out of the sheds for Manly, and everyone's like, "Where are you rushing off to?" Because I used to wear my black pants and button-up shirt, and then I'll be at work, and then some of the people will be drinking, go, "Oh, we seen your brother play tonight." I go, "Yeah, he went well, didn't he?" Yeah, and then I'll just play along, and I used to say that, you know, my name was Jay, and that was Jesse. He used to play NRL.
Jay the Doorman. Big fellas in Pontypridd. We'll get you a contract.
Jesse, you bring a lot of enthusiasm. If you can't tell, Jesse's the happiest man in rugby league. And it's really important that, because I wanted to ask you about your peer group. You know, Junior Moores, Benny Roberts, and some of those guys from those backgrounds comes to a place like Cass and you inject that enthusiasm. And we've talked before about Hull have had it in the past with Manu and Fanua and all these other guys that come from that sort of background and bring an enthusiasm on the pitch that's contagious. Who's your little peer group at Cass, and how does that affect the team?
Yeah, so like, obviously it's me, Junior, Benny, and we got like Massey, he's in there, and Mike McMeekin, a bit angry, but we always give it to him. But then, you know, we've just signed Q, and that's just massive now, because now we can speak the language. And like, so, you know, Q's just like added that extra spark, and he's a bit like myself, I reckon. He's loud, and, you know, we're known as being loud at training, and it's different because Junior's really, really quiet. So for us to come in and be really loud and tease people in cards and pool table, it just sparks the day. And a lot of the boys, you know, they've adapted, but sometimes, you know, you get the one-off angry guy like Oggy Holmes.
We've got, earlier on in this season, we had Gailey on the settee. He bought his Man of Steel trophy, and he loves that Man of Steel trophy. But he was telling us a story about you getting injured, catching balls after training. How did you finally break the news to Daryl?
Well, I got excited because we're playing Wigan, and Darryl decided to put me on the edge, back row, and I was like, yes, I get to play a bit of footy now, not in the middle. So we had this play where they would kick the ball just on top of Freeman. And I said, Gailey, man, that's 100% play. If you kick that for me, I'll get it and score. So we practiced one kick, and I said, one more. I've just jumped up and I've landed. I went, oh no. So I've come off training just like sweet as, and then we go to Costa, and I'm like, oh, this is getting worse. And then I was like, I can't play. And he goes, tell Powley. And then Powley walks by like 2 seconds. He goes, how are you? And I go, yeah, I'm sweet. And then Matty calls me at night, and he goes, what's going on? I go, I don't think it's good, eh? And yeah, it was a meniscus tear, so ended up out for 8 weeks. But Powley, I don't know, he scares me sometimes.
How do you find Powley as a bloke? He's very, very, very good at his job. He's a very good coach. But like I think a few of the boys are scared of him.
Down the line, he's very down the line, isn't he?
Yeah, like if you think you're doing hard work and doing extras at training, as a coach, he does extras as well, you know?
Yeah.
He's even running, not even extras on video, like running as well. So he puts in a lot of work, and he expects the same from his players. So you can never say that I do more than you, and you know? Yeah. He's always at the same, so he expects a lot from the team. But Powley's pretty straightforward, you know? He'll tell you, well, he tells me when I'm playing bad, and he tells me straight up. That's probably the only time we talk. It's when I need to fix something, or he needs me to do something else.
You played really well as well individually. You scored a couple of tries against Leeds, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago. But you look really excited as well. The enthusiasm, you can see you bouncing about when you're playing ball on the pitch. So you must be enjoying your rugby as well.
Yeah, look, I was bouncing about because I'm off the nudie. So I was pretty happy. That's the first thing I said. I said, boys, I'm off the nudie. But look, playing at Cass is something different, you know. Our fans, I could never say thank you enough to, you know, the community. I actually get out there a lot, and just to know a bit of their background and, you know, how much they make a week and how much tickets cost to come to games. I really appreciate that stuff, you know. It's like a massive sacrifice just to come and watch us play. So for me, I try and give back as much as I can, you know, to make their day and put smiles on kids' face and hopefully inspire someone to be a Cas player.
Jesse, we're into the business end of the season now.
Yeah.
Cas, I think of all the injury crises this year, Leeds have had one, Hull have had a terrible one, and Cas have had arguably the worst injury crisis of all.
Yeah.
But you sat in third place, whereas Hull and Leeds have definitely struggled with injuries. Hull have been hit and miss with their injury crisis, but Cas seem to have done pretty well going away to Warrington and winning there. What do you put it down to?
Oh, I just think our squad in general, you know, whoever misses out each week deserves to play. And when we had the injuries, the guys that got the opportunity really, you know, grabbed it with two hands. The belief in the club is massive. That's one thing that you need. And also just having fun with each other and backing each other. I wrote this thing on my wrist when those injuries happened, is God's got us. So every game since those injuries, I just like, God's got us, come on, God's got us. So that's been massive for me, for inspiration and, you know, picking up. But honestly, like our young guys like Mitch Clark,
Mate, how good.
in.
He's phenomenal.
There's a few guys that's just come in and killed it and just given, you know, Pally headaches.
Do you think he'll keep his place? Because he's the one, I think, out of everyone I've seen come in.
Yeah.
See, he's got some real dog in him.
Yeah,
he just wants to fight everyone. He's got that dog in him, hasn't he?
Yeah, look, you know, he went to Featherstone for you know, a couple of months. And
he was their best player.
Yeah, and he's doing exactly what he was doing there for Cas now. So, you know, it's good for him, and I'm happy, you know, that he's playing well and he's got his chance. But, you know, I know he looks like it's been easy, but, you know, he had to grind through a few things, you know, not playing and missing out, and, you know, it plays with your mind a bit. But once you get opportunity and you grab it with two hands, I think, you know, it just picks up your attitude at training and everyone else jumps on that buzz.
Jones, a tough result on Friday night, 20-all against Wakefield, and could have been a bit different. The kick from Wakefield at the inside of the post, I thought, oh no, here we go again.
Yeah.
And one thing I would say is, Kevin Sinfield came to Longbar, because I host Longbar at Leeds every week, and it's been difficult, it's been challenging, but the fans have kept faith, and he spoke so openly and honestly about the team, about the performance, and the fans being supporting the club. And everyone in the room, there's such a different feeling amongst the fans with Kev being there. I think it's, you know, it's just a real fresh. And I thought the boys played well on Friday night, to be honest.
Yeah, he's had an immediate impact. We said this last week, I think. He was the perfect guy to fill that hole and start bringing back some of those cultural habits and, you know, really integrating his philosophies into some of the young and peripheral boys so they can come in like Jesse's talking about there in Cas and perform. Liam Sutcliffe, I think, was the instant marker for me in his goal kicking.
Unbelievable.
You know, I said to you, I think we were watching the game, if he kicks the first one, he'll nail all of them, and he kicked really, really well. Thankfully, we put an extra lick of paint on the post during the week, and that kept us from losing the game. But listen, credit to Wakefield as well. They've had that tenacity all season.
Well.
I think we spoke with Danny Kermond a few weeks ago, and the fact that Wakey have lost, you know, a lot of games, 6, 7, 8 games by 4 to 8 points this year, just shows where they're at as a group. But still a lot of work to do, and an interesting finish to these last 3 weeks.
2 games to go, and you're now in other clubs' hands.
Yep.
One thing I will ask you about, mate, it's been all over Twitter. Ryan Hall to Sydney Roosters. Yeah. It's been blowing up today. What's your thoughts on that? Because obviously he's off contract end of the year, and he's been such a big player for the club. Obviously, most clubs would want his signing.
He's a world-class player, isn't he? And he might want to test himself in the best league in the world. He's had his testimonial here. He's done his time, so to speak. Yeah. And Ryan Hall's in sensational form.
He's the one player.
He's just a monster. He could play prop, he could play back row, he could play anywhere where it involves just crashing through the line, because he's finishing on his belly all the time. He's playing quick and he's just world class. You know, if we were to lose him, it'd be devastating, because he's one of the best, if not the best in the world for me. But you've got to respect the guy. If he wants to go elsewhere and test his arm, then that's up to him.
But the thing is, as well, he's such a character, isn't he? There's no one else like him, literally.
He's a weirdo. That's about as best as I put it. He is. They're all strange. I think you've got to be strange to play a game like rugby league. You've got to be an absolute manpot, haven't you? But he's just started his business as well with the decking systems, and he's got a few fingers in pie. So it'll be interesting to see where that leads. But who knows around all? He's a strange character. But one thing you do know is he always knows what he wants, and he'll do whatever he wants.
Without a doubt. Right, coming up right now, we're going to go over to Batley to see Shawn score, because this man, have you ever seen it before, Jesse, when on the buzzer to celebrate, Shawn kicks the ball. I think it was playing Featherstone, and they were winning the game, and he gets the ball, the hooter goes, and he kicks the ball in celebration towards touch, but he goes for the long touch line, misses the ball, kicks it back. Will Sharp runs through and scores to win the game, mate. It is priceless, absolutely priceless. And we've hammered him over the course of time. Let's go over now and see Shawn's Getting to Know You, taking you into the part 2, into the break. We'll see you for more for the second half of rugby after the break, right here, Free Sports. Keep it locked.
Getting to Know You with Shawn Michael Ainscough. My hero growing up was Jason Robinson. I tried to play like him, but that didn't work out. Beyond Dole now. That's about it. Yeah, I have nothing else. Nah, I don't follow any football. I'm not really into it. Probably Latics, because it's my hometown club. Favourite food? I like a steak, a good steak. First car, 1.3. It was Suzuki Swift. I remember trying to fit 5 people up going to Bradford training, and that was my first car. Fastest on motorway. Pretty much into everything. At the minute, it's probably Lego movies with kids. That's all I'm seeing. Watch it, minute. All Lego stuff, but I can't think of. I like Eminem's new album. That's pretty decent. Just my teammate, all of them. I like them all. Love them all. Representing under 18s England team, going to Australia. That's probably one of my highlights, going to there. Yeah, probably I've only ever done probably 3 kicks while I've played rugby league. 3 of them's all been tries, but one for the other team. It was at Featherstone when they did that kick. It had snow on it and everything. There was only 2 people in rugby league that would be able to chase that, thinking game's over. And it's Johnny Campbell and Will Sharp, and Will Sharp was one of them who finished it off. Superhero, probably Hulk. Gig, right, I've not been to a gig. I went to go to one. It was Scouting for Girls. We went to go on a Saturday. It's a good story, this one. Went to go, my missus booked it all, so we went down, got there, and I was sat there for ages thinking, what's going on here? This ain't Scouting for Girls. And then it turned out was in the wrong concert, and it was Fly to the Concorde. So that messed up quick, so I've not really been to one. That's my best one. That's the only one I've been to. Probably The Walking Dead. That's pretty deep. My missus has watched that a few times. I've seen that. That's probably the best one. Some new follicles for my head, because they're going thinner and thinner each day then. I've been to Jamaica. That was good. I enjoyed going to Jamaica. Swam with dolphins and everything. Jason Robinson. Yeah, I tried to play like him. That didn't work out, like I said. But yeah, he's got everything. I enjoyed watching him as a kid growing up. And yeah, he's been my hero. Still is now. If I saw him, I'd ask for his autograph. Zucchinis. We've been there for feeds before, and it's a decent feed.